Are you ready?
Yeah.
What?
Why do you always ask, are you ready?
Because sometimes I have to ready myself to get ready. And when I look at you, I get invigorated to get ready.
Okay.
Just saying. All right, here we go. So this is show number 59, and she does invigorate me. I'm not kidding. Just telling you. Is that a problem? I don't think so. I hope not.
No.
Because I'll tell you what. All right, it is August the 3rd, 2018. And as always, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Wherever you may be located. I know we have some of those in Russia and Morocco now, and Turkey, Nigeria, United Kingdom, Canada, Serbia. I mean, I'm excited. I'm really excited about that. Really, really, really excited about that.
I wonder where the look is from.
What look?
The look. The commentator. The look.
Oh, the look. Oh, so the commenter with the screen name The Look. Where is The Look from? Interesting. Okay. Either way, it is show number 59, and it is absolutely a pleasure to welcome the new viewers from Russia and Morocco here. Way to go! That's what I'm talking about. Get in here. Let's go. Have a good time with this, as you can tell.
You should have done that today.
We'll talk about that later. We had a match head-to-head today. We played 2 out of 3 sets. We'll talk about that in a little while. We'll get there.
You may gotta pump yourself up.
Come on! We'll get there. All right. So anyway, just a quick fact that we have had our 16-year-old son try to organize some of our videos that we've had for a very long time into some type of playlist. I think it's called.
Yes, playlist.
So I think we put like 450 videos in one section, and then like 50 stringing ones in one section, and then like us hitting on like a section
10, like
10 or something.
Yeah.
So anyway, so they may be more accessible to watch instead of having to potentially go through like 100 pages of not really knowing where you're going. So let us know if that helps, because we get asked for videos to be made, and 9 times out of 10 we've already done them. And again, they may be subpar, all of them, because we used to just set a camera down and walk away. So pardon that. But if you see one and you like it and you want us to redo it with a more educated, I guess, we've done this for a while, I think I feel more comfortable of how to cut a video, make a video, and so forth. So I think we can do better next time. What you looking at, man?
Big green eyes. I love green eyes.
All right, so we have a lot to talk about today.
I'm glad you still stutter on me.
Stutter? All right, we got a lot to talk about today. Man, I gotta pay attention.
Okay.
All right. So we have a lot to talk about today. We're gonna jump right into the thick of it with viewer comments as always. Again, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't do this really at all, except we do it amongst ourselves, but it's nice to share it with you. So thank you. We're going to jump right into viewer comments first. Second, we're going to talk about some results from the current Citi Open. I think San Jose's ongoing as well, and some of the storylines and topics that kind of ride their wave. You know what I mean? So we're going to talk about that as well, and then some new topics, and obviously a whole lot more, because we always tend to drift in different directions before we kind of get set again. All right, so we always like to start every show with a thank you. As always, again, it's an absolute pleasure to share our passion for the game with you, and vice versa. And I think already you have these kind of friendships that form, I guess, in a alternate reality per se, because we're not in person, but nonetheless, it feels like a really good thing. So we're going to keep going. So thank all of you for that. Without you, again, we don't do it at all. So let's go. Get into this. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So before we get into the first comment, I'm going to do my normal thing that probably annoys everybody, but I have to check the camera because, again, I'm using about a couple-year-old phone, and sometimes I can walk around and it'll just be frozen, and it will have been 20 minutes since it is frozen. So I'm going to check this. All right. All right, we're good. All right. So the first comment we're going to get into, and the person that commented was Rajesh Kumar. Thank you, Rajesh. By the way, real quickly before I mention or have you read Rajesh's comment, how these comments are attained is we do comments that are left from viewers from the day before, and then we talk about them the following day or the following show. So anyway, so she's going to read Rahesh's comment, but if you want to kind of get the context of where these comments are coming from, check out would be 2 days ago.
2 days ago, yeah.
And I think maybe I should start numbering them, so maybe you can go back and see the number, and maybe that's something I need to think about. But nonetheless, go back to the previous show and you can see where these comments come from. All right, so Carla's going to read the first topic from Rahesh, and that involves the U.S. Open. And I think some predictions that are involved. So I'm anxious to hear these. I haven't heard these yet.
Novak, Nadal final, maybe. And Kerber and Serena again.
Novak, Nadal, and Kerber, Serena.
It all depends how, I would think, how Nadal and Djokovic's rankings, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you know Nadal's either going to be 1 or 2, most likely 1. So it's all depending on what Djokovic's ranking is going to end up being.
Yeah, you're right. You're
because
absolutely,
if he's
like 16, he could pop up in the top.
Yeah.
You know, and they may not be able to get them into the finals.
Yeah.
However, if hypothetically,
they might meet. They usually meet in the semis. For some reason, they always meet in the semis.
well, hypothetically, if they let's just say hypothetically, in a perfect world, based upon the comment, they met, or they had the potential to meet, could Djokovic and Nadal meet in the final? I absolutely think that is very highly likely.
It's very possible, yeah. So I think it's better than Nadal and Federer.
Well, I don't think Federer, man. I will. As much as I hate to say it, I'm a Federer fan, but I don't think we'll discuss this later. But I don't think Federer has the ability to get to the final this year. I just don't. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. But right now, I'm skeptical about it. It's hard to bet against him, but I think I would if Federer played Djokovic, I would bet on Djokovic currently. So we'll discuss that in a little while.
And then as for his Kerber and Serena, again, yeah, that's a high possibility. I mean, it could happen. Anything could happen at the U.S. Open. The U.S. Open, though, is so unpredictable. Anybody could win, and the women's side especially.
Yeah, it can happen, but based upon the bagel and a French fry against Konta, I mean, I can't. I still can't bet against Serena in at the U.S. Open. However, again, we do a fantasy team, and we have to pick our finalists before the tournament starts. Unless she makes a lot of noise upcoming, I think they play in Canada at some point. I think so, right?
You can never count. You can't count Serena out. I mean, she's won many Grand Slams without playing any warm-up tournaments. On top of that, from what I read, the day that she played Konta, her sister's killer was released on that same day, and I'm pretty sure she was thinking about that.
Yeah, that's kind of a deep story. Again, I don't know anything about that, but just the idea of that.
It's like 15 years ago, her sister was killed, and I'm sure she was thinking about that in the back of her head. And sometimes tennis is just not that important.
I don't blame that for the loss. I don't even talk about. I don't know anything about it. You mentioned it to me the other day, and I recall that. But
yeah, don't count out Serena.
Serena.
She's won many Grand Slams without warming up at all or playing any tennis and being out of shape.
Yeah, but she's very much out of shape at this point. I mean, she should be. She should be. She should be.
Well, she's 5'11". On top of that, she's a big woman, so it's probably harder to get back in shape.
I mean,
and she's thick, so it's harder for thicker people with muscles. It's so much harder to get in shape unless you're like super skinny, which she has never been.
Yeah, personally, I could foresee a Halep and Kerber final. I could also see a Halep-Lazicki final or a Lazicki-Kerber final. She could go.
Oh,
if she shows up, I don't care if she's unseated or not. Lazicki has a chance.
She hasn't shown up in years.
All right, we're going to move forward. We have a lot to talk about for sure. Rajesh, thank you for that.
Well, he says another thing. He says also Delpo gave trouble but never beat him, and also Isner troubled him very. Isner can't even pass the 4th round. I think he's talking about a comment that he made before about someone saying that Delpo and Isner was their pick as their dark horses.
Oh no! Yeah. No. That was Kia Sama. Kia Sama mentioned that her top 5 for kind of in theory for the U.S. Open would be Djokovic, Nadal, Federer, Isner, and Del Potro. Which I still think that's I think that's really an awesome team. I mean, I'm not a huge Isner fan. I'm not, but with that home crowd behind him, I think it adds a little bit of opportunity. Do I think Isner will make the final? No.
I don't even think he'll make the 4th round like he said. I mean, after last night's loss, or 2 nights ago, against his compatriot Ruben. No, I don't think he'll even make it the first week now, looking at that.
Yeah, we'll get into that match, too. So, we'll get into that match for sure. So, I think after Rajesh commented, we had the look.
Yes.
That came in and said something, right?
He said, hey, great job again. Do you know Adrian Manarino? He's number 25, and he has no sponsors, and he's French. He says he's been playing since ever with whiteout sponsors. I guess he whites out all his sponsors. He doesn't have a sponsor.
Okay, so I'll start on that one because personally, I am I'm not going to say large, but I am a fan of Adrian Manarino. He's been around a long time. I want to say since maybe the early 2000s, 2002,
2004, yeah.
Somewhere in there. I remember, I think it was 2011, Manarino played Federer at Wimbledon. I think Federer won that like 2-3-2 or something. However, I really liked the matchup in that tournament, and I remember that. I thought it was a well-fought match regardless of the score. Manarino, to play with whiteout sponsors, I think I understand what he's saying. You don't have sponsors, you want to put tape over your sponsor, or not your sponsor, but whatever you're wearing, because why would you give someone free marketing? Make them earn it. So yeah, white it out. I understand that. I sometimes I put duct tape on my logos on stuff that I'm wearing now, except our own 5K tennis stuff. But I get the feeling, and I understand where you're coming from. I think as the world is a very overcrowded place to begin with, and everybody's fighting for a specific sponsor per se, that unless you are winning titles, it's hard to give away your stuff. I guess, I mean, granted, these companies are billionaire companies, and these companies thrive on a lot of, I don't know the word I'm looking for. In other words, they want to make as much money as they can. They don't want to give anything away, especially with the handful of owners or shareholders and what have you. So, and this is another story. I was upset that Benoit Pierre smashed 3 rackets when our kids could have had those 3 rackets. So forget about that. But I think what I'm getting at here is that Adrian Manarino, I think, has never won a title in singles
he's never
or
won
doubles.
or doubles. But the guy deserves a sponsor.
He deserves a sponsor.
If Wilson, Prince, Yonex gives sponsorships to coaches that are fat and can't even teach the sport,
I agree.
Those guys get all these gears, and we've seen them on pictures before, and
Yeah.
I mean, and you're telling me that a player that works so hard, who is number 25, which is a hard thing to reach, can't get a sponsor from somebody? Doesn't have to be Wilson, doesn't have to be Prince, doesn't have to be Nike, could be a smaller company. 25, Justin?
I'm not.
Yeah, I know that, but that's crazy. I never knew that until I did some research. That's crazy.
Okay, so by the way, quick timeout. Time. We have had multiple videos up here. We've been interrupted by lawnmowers, diesel trucks, thunder, lightning, weed eaters, blowers. We got something back there. And there's like no one that even lives around. But bam, we got another power tool going. That's cool though. Just saying, if you hear a noise in the background, we're trying to overcome that. It's some odd power tool in the distance. All right, so
going back to again, this guy deserves a sponsorship. Come on, sponsors, where are you for this guy? I mean, 25. That guy worked hard, if he's not getting sponsorship, that means the only money that he's winning is by winning some matches. That's it.
Yeah, my statement where I was going with that was not that.
And I know you're not disagreeing with me.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. But what I'm trying to I guess reiterate is the cutthroatness, if that's even a word, the ability of business tycoons, as cutthroat as they are, the most of them, they're not going to be handing out lucrative sponsorships unless this person is unfortunately dominating, and that gets in back to the big 3 category. Djokovic, Nadal, Federer, they're so good all the time. It's like, I mean, why do you want to give stuff away?
But Bouchard never won anything, and she's got sponsorships.
Yeah, but Bouchard's showing her rear end on a donkey.
So what is he's got to show his biceps, his abs, or something?
No. I mean, I am agreeing with you. He deserves it. Absolutely. He's a fun player to watch.
Yeah,
but I'm saying when you have a group of shareholders in a business office in Dubai or Beijing, they don't know what you're even talking about. Probably 80% of, hey, this guy wants $2 million. What? Who is? Is it better?
I wonder who his agent is.
I mean, it's not surprising.
Do you think his agent has? But I saw Donald Young with some type of sponsorship, and he's not even number 25 in the world.
No, Donald Young's racket was painted black the last time.
But his shirt and his shorts had a logo, some type of logo. And he's not even 25 in the world.
All right. Great topic from that was the look, right?
Yes.
Great topic from the look. Very mind generating. That's one of those comment of the day up for type deals that got our minds going. Yes, we like Manarino. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve a sponsor. I'm just trying to be realistic on why he does not have.
If he was 1,000 in the world, I would totally understand.
Or if he
25,
or if he lived in the United States, he'd be way. Look, he's way better than Isner. He's way better than Donald Young. He's way better than Tiafoe. He's way better than all these players. I mean, I understand Isner is number 8 in the world or whatever. That's a lucky 8, in my opinion. No offense. I just think Isner's a subpar player, in my opinion. If it serves off, it's over.
I watched him play yesterday. Like, I really watched him play yesterday against Ruben.
Okay.
And I said, what? I said, no offense. I said, the guy has a better serve than me, but I got way better strokes than that dude.
Yeah, and then furthermore, here's a poll question. If you had a fantasy team that involved one player, and you had to pick between for 100 matches, if you could have Isner for 100 matches, or Manarino for 100 matches to fight with you on your team, who would you pick? I would go Manarino. Because again, if Isner at 6'3" million or 6'10" or 11 or whatever it is, if he's hurting, it's over. If his first serve's not clicking, it's over. Does he get lucky and go on hot streaks and serve at 290,000 miles an hour and serve at 80%? Yes, but unless we're doing that consistently, which he's done for a long time, don't get me wrong. But if I had to choose life or death and had one player to fight for me 100 matches against random players, who would you choose? Manarino or Isner? That's a great poll question. But my first vote, I'm taking Manarino. You disagree? 100 matches. Think about the fitness, the height.
Well, you can't make that because obviously Isner has the better ranking and he's won titles. So
if you had to rely on one player's physicality, mentality for 100 matches, let's say every other day, not every day, no one can do that. Every other day, if you had 100 matches, Isner had to play 100 matches against a random pool of players with the likes of Nadal, Federer, Zverev, okay? And then you took another 100 matches and you put Manarino every other day.
Well, I think Manarino's body would last longer.
Manarino's body would last. I'm just telling you, I would rather take Manarino there.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Isner, and I know people are like, yeah, no disrespect, you just drilled him. No, I didn't mean it that way. I'm just telling you from a coaching perspective.
Yeah, I think he's very lucky to be in the top. I mean, he's got to serve. That's about it.
Moving forward. This is a big comment here. This comes from Rahesh. And it involves grunting. I'm gonna let Carla read this one because I think this is a first time comment that we're gonna call it a retirement of topic comment. Retirement of topic comment. What's the acronym? Retirement topic comment. RTC. This is our first RTC. We're gonna retire a topic, and I agree. I think we all agree. But I like the courage for someone to call it out, and then the chicken of the egg. So go ahead and read that.
Well, he says, okay, let's move on about grunting. You guys don't like it, but it's part of tennis, so can't do much about it. And then AJ Malfoy, agree with him. And then he says,
Somewhere the chicken or the egg, right?
Oh yeah, I'm looking for. He says, yes, fun, but it's like the egg chicken story, never ending.
All right, I like this. This is up for comments of the day as well because of the simple fact that we've done this a while and everybody's kind of comment. I think we kind of feel the vibe of those that comment, so I kind of feel what they say.
We can't do much about it. So
yeah,
it's part of it.
So number one, I like the initiation.
Just like Nadal picking his butt at every turn.
Yeah, he picks his butt all the time.
It's just we got to deal with it.
Federer with the hair tuck.
Yeah, we got to deal with it.
Hey, I think I saw Sasha Zverev though, the younger Zverev, starting some hair tucking
well,
too.
Well, he's got the hair on his face, so he has to.
So he's trying to look all hair tucky too. But that's all right. At least I'm not picking my.
You know,
butt.
I liked him. We'll talk about that later. But.
All right, yeah, we'll get into that. So this is up for comment of the day simply because Rahesh asked if we could retire a comment, and we are going to do that.
It's done.
Done. So Rahesh, thank you for that. I call that courage. That's what you call serve, volleying, and putting it away. Let's go. I like that a lot. Let's go. We retire comments at will around here. All right, so next after Rahesh, AJ Malfoy came in, and I'm going to let Carla read this. What's up, Malfoy? We haven't heard from you in, I think, a couple of days, but good to see you're still kicking out there. So Carla's going to read that.
Don't have a question. Just wanted to give my respect and appreciation to this channel for your consistency and dedication. As a massive tennis fan, there are not a lot of tennis fan channels where us fans can discuss For sure, this channel is one of the few that have allowed insightful debates to be explored. And I thought it would be strange with a husband and wife presenting, but you're so professional, and I wouldn't even think you were together. Keep up the great work.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, we're definitely together.
So this is obviously up for comment of the day as well. It's motivational. We like that because sometimes we're 5 kids deep, which they're in there now, and sometimes it's like, geez, now we got to do this too. We can just talk about it, but because of the past couple of months, it becomes kind of part of life, I guess you could say.
You know, I've actually what surprised me about doing this, that when we do this, is that, you know, sometimes I see some like discussions on like forums and people like just bash each other. They like curse each other. Everyone here's been pretty much respectful, except for a few people that I've had to delete. But, you know, for the most part, everybody's very insightful about tennis. They're true fans.
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much for the comment. Very kind of you. And again, like as she just discussed, I think for quite a bit of time, I attempted to read, you know, kind of your morning getting ready to go type, you know, you're having a cup of coffee or whatever, and you're wanting to read some tennis stuff, but from people, not just someone from, you know, blank times, or so you want to read like other people. And then you get 2 comments in, and then it just turns into these curse words and really just profane stuff that I just have no interest in. So to hear that is, again, one of the main reasons that we started doing this in the first place, because we heard sports radio in the car every day, and we thought it was very professional, but they never talked about tennis. So we said, well, man, if they can talk about basketball and jiving here and talking smack there, and, you know, why can't we do that about tennis? Because it's lacking. So that's why we do this, number 1. Number 2, you thought it would be cheesy if it was a husband and wife. I did that because I would think it would be cheesy too. I would. You know, I don't want to talk sports with husband and wife. Were they going to be hugging or, you know, whatever? Definitely not that type of party here. I think it's very infrequent that we go out to a tennis court and once we start warming up, our eyes don't even make eye contact. I mean, we're warming up at the net. I hit a ball, you know, and she's not looking at me. She's looking at that ball. She's looking at where I'm warming up slowly. And then she exploits that. And we had a match today, and we'll discuss that at the end. And we'll discuss our match at the end. I mean, it's all fun and games. We had a good match today, though. 2 out of 3 sets. But when we're doing this, there's a whole lot of, you think that, I think this. What? Come on, how can you? And then our 16-year-old and 14-year-old and 9-year-old, and sometimes the 5-year-old, the 2-year-old's kind of lost in the shuffle. 6, but even they get in on it. So, believe me, it's very competitive.
Yeah, they kind of side with him, which you know, makes me want to fight even more.
Go, come on. Right. So appreciate that, but believe me, if this was cheesy, believe me, I would tell you, because cheesy stuff is just whack. I don't like cheesiness. So that's well said, and I appreciate that. And we do it as you would see any other talk show on this or that, where there's 2 people that go back and forth, because we're not, I mean, this is something that we have a lot of passion about both ways, and she has her opinions on it, and so do I. Again, we were trained by 2 different people growing up, 2 different dads, both players. So there's a lot of stuff.
2 different styles. 2
different styles, and we're going to get into something with the Zverev brothers in part 2 that I think is beautiful and mimics Zverev parents against parents like us, raising different kids in different styles. So we'll get into that later as well. But thank you, Malfoy, for the comment. Very motivational. It's obviously up for comment of the day as well. The next comment comes in from Hisham Isham, and Carla's going to read that as well.
If Agassi knew Djokovic recovered quickly, as he did realize after the surgery, would he pursue coaching him? And if it was the case, how could it impact Novak's game?
Diesel truck.
Do you want me to read it again?
Well, no. I think we heard it. I think it was well read. So, in essence, what I gathered from the message is something along the lines of, this is how I perceived it, was if Agassi had continued to coach, or wait a minute, excuse me, rewind that.
Well, he said if Agassi knew Djokovic would recover quickly,
would he have stayed?
After surgery, would he have stayed, basically, yeah.
Yeah, so
and what could have happened in Novak's game?
So I think, number 1, and I may be wrong, again, I read Agassi's book, and I don't really care for too much of what Agassi says no matter what after that book. I mean, you want to be a little ratty, whatever, man, you don't have to do that. You can just you can just keep rolling on.
He should have never wrote that book.
Should have just never written the book. I'm not going to get into the book, and nor do I want to give the book, which was whack in my opinion, any PR for being a little fairy boy. I'm just going to end it at that. But I don't think Agassi, and I may be way off base here, I don't think Agassi charged Djokovic anything for the coaching.
No,
however,
supposedly he did not.
However, I'm sure there's some joint marketing in there that kind of benefacted somebody. I would assume so.
Sure.
I mean, the old saying, nothing is free in life. So I have a hard time believing Agassi benefited zero from that. And then at the same time, that Djokovic benefited. I think there were some beneficial gains no matter what, whether you write someone a check on paper or not. I think there's a whole lot of stuff behind the scenes. With that said, does it really matter if Agassi would have stayed on or he didn't stay on? Because I think that Djokovic's original coach, who was it, Magnus? Who was?
No, it's who he's with now.
Yeah, what's his name?
Gosh.
It's not Magnus Norman, is it?
No, it's not. That's Wawrinka.
Yeah. Okay. So I forget his name, and I should have that. You're right. That's Wawrinka's coach. Check that if you have the time. But for me, Djokovic is best, at least with anyone else that he's dealt with before, where he is currently. He looks to me that he's getting back and is very close to where he once was recently, right?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, there's nothing Agassi could do for Djokovic. Nothing
Yeah,
he can do for his game. Actually, no coach can do anything for his game. Most of these top pros do not need coaches, but they need someone that they can talk to and trust.
Yeah, someone that kind of
Don't tell me that Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic need to tell you how you should hit a backhand if you're running this way cross court. No, these guys, they just need someone to guide them, to talk to them mentally, get in their head, and pump them up. That's what they need.
Yeah, I mean, so how could it be that Agassi would go tell Djokovic to hit the ball? That's not what it's about at the level, at this level, at least in my opinion.
Marian Vajda. That's
Vajda. Yeah. So this guy that coaches Djokovic currently, Vajda, and I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but he's, to me, when I see him, I feel like this is a real.
Well, he started with him.
Yeah, so
he helped him become who he is.
Yeah, so when I see the guy though, this is a testament to him, Djokovic's current coach. When I see, I think it Vajda, I don't know how to pronounce it. Correct me. But when I see the guy as a man, I feel a physical presence.
Vajda.
Vajda, yeah.
Vajda.
All right, so when I see the guy, I feel like he is a physical presence. And sometimes I think the tennis bad boy needs that physical presence. For me, that guy Vajda will be the last dude that I want to make mad.
You don't look like you want to mess with him.
I don't want to mess with him.
Honestly, he's very serious.
Yeah, very serious. And kind of that whip your butt, like, you better train or I'm going to, like the way I was raised in the game and the way she was, I feel that. And sometimes the tennis bad boy, Djokovic, was not necessarily a bad boy anymore. But it came from that place, and I think that this guy, based upon when I see him in the player's box looking at Djokovic, I don't see Djokovic talking smack to him like he would do to Becker or like he would do to whoever. He looks more like, oh, I better not talk smack to him. And this is a testament to that guy, Vajda. I think Djokovic is fine where he is right now. I wouldn't want to mess with him.
Some of the better coaches are the guys that really didn't accomplish that much in tennis. I think Agassi has way too much money. He's got an academy. He's got a famous wife, Steffi Graf. He doesn't need to be out there coaching anybody, really. I mean, he doesn't have that passion in him probably to give 100% of himself, whereas this coach would.
Now, this was Hisham's comments, right?
Yes.
All right, so if someone like Nick Kyrgios, and I don't want to give any excess airtime, but if someone like the guy Vajda would coach Kyrgios, maybe he could get Kyrgios to freaking wake up. But we're going to move forward. That's a great mind-stimulating comment. Hisham, really liked the comment. It was definitely mind-going. It stimulated a whole bunch of topics between us in the years past with Agassi and so forth, and then Djokovic years ago. So thank you for that. That was awesome. Next, Furzy09 came in, and she is going to read. We had a discussion about his U.S. Open finals picks. He described why he made those picks. So he's just going to read the comment real quickly. It's nothing major.
The reason for the Kerber Halep pick, he says, is you can't trust anyone on the WTA tour. Halep and Kerber are the only ones that have made more than one semifinal at a major this year. Halep plays fewer tournaments than most, but it's still number one due to her consistency. And then reason for men, Federer Nadal pick. Don't think Djokovic is back to his best. Could not take advantage of so many Nadal short balls and could have lost a bad version of Nadal if the roof was open. Djokovic should have won that match more easily, therefore going with an unpopular choice of Federer Nadal. I have to agree with him on the Nadal. If that roof was open, I think Nadal would have beat him.
Which one?
At Wimbledon.
Which Wimbledon? 2000.
This Wimbledon we just had.
Yeah.
Because you're right. Most of the time when Djokovic would play Nadal, those short balls would have been put away. Totally agree. He let that match go further than what it should have been. If you would have had the old version of Djokovic when he beat Nadal, pretty easily, I mean, that match would have been over the same day.
You agree?
And then as far as Halep and Kerber, I mean, he says Halep doesn't plays fewer tournaments. That's probably smart for her frame, the type of tennis she plays. I mean, they are the most consistent players on the tour.
I mean, we're getting low on time, very low on time. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to stop on Furzy 09 right here. Because I do want to comment about his comment, and then we just have one more viewer comment, and that comes from Wynam Chia, and she's going to read that, and then we're going to do the comment of the day, and then we are going to get right into the Citi Open, the results, and some new topics that we came up with today just by kind of doing this. So click a like below, subscribe below, share the video. Kind of rhymed. Hey, that's all right. Anyway, it helps us, and again, we're trying to make this better. We do have a website, www.5ktennis.com, and again, it's very elementary, kind of like our videos were a little while ago. But anyway, we're trying to do better, so thanks all of you for everything. We are going to stop it here and immediately do part 2 and get right into the thick of things, and it should be fun.
Right.
I can't wait. All right, guys, as Carl always says,
Adios.
part 2 coming up.